It's time for part 4 of Can a British Falconer pass an American Falconry exam? And this part, or the rest of the exam from this point, starts to get a lot longer. So this next section is about hunting and training techniques, and I'm actually going to split this into probably 2 videos because there are over 60 questions in this one section alone. So I'm just going to do 30 questions for this video. I'm changing the format a bit. I am not eating any more disgusting, horrible chilies. And I sat and thought about that, and as an animal trainer, I realised I have been positively punishing myself for getting an incorrect answer, when really in animal training, we should be positively reinforcing good behaviours. So, instead of eating a chili when I get a question wrong, I am going to celebrate every correct question with a little bit of a drink. I can't really say what I'm drinking on YouTube, otherwise YouTube won't let me have adverts. Let's get going. Question 1. Which of the following is true? A haggard hawk was once an IAS. B, an IAS hawk was once a haggard. C, a passage bird was once an IAS. D, A and C above are both true. So this is to do with the age of the birds. So a chick in the nest is an IAS, a hawk in its first year is a passage, and then once it's done its first migration or it's molted out into its adult plumage, it is a haggard. So an IAS hawk was once a haggard cannot happen. That's like a Benjamin Button of the hawk world. So D, A and C above are both true. Correct. Excellent. Question 2. When a falconer is attempting to call their bird, a visitor should A, stay back and be still, B, not get between the falconer and the bird, C, walk toward the bird, D, A and B above. D, A and B above. Respect a falconer and his bird and stay away. Correct. Excellent. Question 3. Drinking water is also known as yarrak, bowsing, warbling, carrying. What an apt question for the way we are doing this video. So drinking water is also known as bowsing, which supposedly is where we get the term bows or booze when you go to the pub from. So B. Correct. 4. Manning your newly caught red-tailed hawk is best accomplished A, outdoors from day 1, B, by starving weight off quickly, C, using food to encourage a response, or D, by feeding a full crop daily. C, using food to encourage a response. This is positive reinforcement. C, correct. Oh God, this is really going to run away with me. Question 5. The benefits of hunting your bird frequently include providing a good diet of wild-caught game, providing excellent exercise for your bird, strengthening the bond between you and your bird, or all of the above. Well, all of the above. D. Correct. 6. Once your freshly caught red-tailed hawk tires of baiting off the fist and sits quietly, your next goal should be to enter it on wild game, lure fly it, get it to feed off the fist, tie it to your block perch. Well, once she's comfortable sitting on the glove, the next step would be to get it feeding off the glove. So C, get it to feed off the fist. Correct. 7. Hacking a bird refers to A, introduce it to game, B, releasing a passage to fly free, C, allowing a young bird to mature in a chamber, D, none of the above. None of the above. Hacking is where you allow it to fly loose by itself, gain fitness and stuff. So D, none of the above. Correct. Bird that is keen could also be said to be A, hungry, B, sharp set, C, ready to kill, D, all the above. D, all the above. They're all terms for a bird that is keen. They all kind of just mean the same thing, really. So D, correct. Your new red-tailed hawk appears too tame after just one day out the trap. You should A, frighten the bird to get back on course. B, call your sponsor and follow their instructions. C, take it hunting. D, release it and trap a new bird. I guess the best thing to do would be to call your sponsor and follow their instructions. So B, I'm going to say correct. Use of a lure may be desired when a bird is being trained, when an immediate recall of your bird is necessary, when recalling your bird from a greater distance, or all of the above. Well, a lure could do all of these, so they're good for building fitness. As I do displays, I fly all my falcons to a lure. The bird understands it as being a really nice big reward. And I think it also sort of kicks in their more natural instinct to chase and hunt. So it works from a further distance, but it also works more immediately than just a little tidbit on the glove. So D, all the above, correct. Your red-tailed hawk appears too keen prior to hunting. You should give it wrangle, use a howls band while hunting. Tame hack it, none of the above. Give it wrangle, well that's when we give them like pebbles and stones to sort of help clear out the crop. Use a house band while hunting, which is not something I have ever done or used. I think it's like a leather strap that goes around the neck. D, none of the above. Correct. Your red-tailed hawk is well manned and flying to the fist on a creance. When do you feel comfortable flying it free? A, when it quickly comes 10 feet to the fist, when it quickly comes 10 feet to the lure, when it quickly comes 50 feet to the lure, when it quickly comes 50 yards to the fist. Oh my word, Americans. Oh my word. You have such weird ways to measure things. What the heck is a yard? I don't know how much a yard is. I cannot visualise a yard. I can somewhat visualise feet, but I don't know how much a yard is. What's bigger, a foot or a yard? A yard? I would say a yard is bigger than a foot. I have no idea. I don't know these measurements. We will be to the lure. I would say a better test is if it's quickly coming to the fist. So then we just need to decide between 10 feet to the fist or 50 yards to the fist. I'm going to go for 50 yards to the fist. I think 50 yards is further away than 10 feet. If there's any Americans watching this, they're probably laughing at me quite a lot. But in England, we use a proper system, such as meters, centimetres, millimetres, and kilometres, but then miles per hour, which doesn't really make sense, or miles per gallon, and then we fill our vehicles up by the litre, not the gallon. Let's just go for D. Correct! Don't mind that. Let's just sort this out off camera. Available for all audiences, family friendly. Right, what I'm doing here is I am pouring it into a jug to make it easier to pour into this so that I can measure it out. This is so stupid. Moving on. 13. Oh, I need to pour myself a new one. Oh dear. Oh, it's gone all frothy now. Right, okay, I'm only small. It doesn't take a lot. I don't have a lot of blood in me. Right, never mind. Moving on. This is a professional YouTube channel. We're doing an exam. Exam conditions, please. You know an American kestrel tends to carry. To help prevent this, you should use a lightweight lure. Only fly it in its yarrak. Use a weighted lure line. Use a howls band while flying. E. Just don't fly one. No, that's not. Sorry, that's not one of them. No, I like American kestrels. I've bred American kestrels before. Use a lightweight lure. Well, no, because it'll just carry it off, won't it? Use a weighted lure line, I'm going to say. C. Correct. Training a peregrine falcon to take pitch may be accomplished by training with homing pigeons, B. Training with a kite, C. Flying ground quarry, D. A and B above. Well, to take pitch, you're basically wanting it to go up, gain height, so you can have it waiting on for game hawking. So anything that will train it to start to go up in the air rather than scooch around along the ground and cut the grass, as many people call it. So I'm going to say D, A and B above, training it with homing pigeons and training it with a kite. And when we say a kite, it literally means a kite, not like a kite as in a bird, like literally a kite on a string that it's trained to go up to. An alternative to that would be a big balloon, but then the more modern approach to kites and balloons is a drone. So it would also be an acceptable answer in here to have training it to a drone, which is now what many people do. So answer D. Correct. Flying your hawk in April may be risky because they are more likely to get electrocuted. Migratory urges may resurface. They are more likely to wobble. The game is harder to catch. Can you even hunt game in April? You certainly can't here in England. Well, it depends what you're hunting. You don't hunt game in April though. October to February. Yeah, it's October to February, so you don't even hunt game in April. I don't know, maybe America has different rules on that, but here in England we have an open season and a closed season. And April, I'm pretty sure, is in the closed season. So migratory urges may resurface. I'm going to go with B. Correct. 16. The first time you fly a red-tailed hawk free, he refuses to come down from a tree. You're forced to leave him out for the night. Your next step should be to A. Arrive before dawn the next morning and try and recover him. B. Set up a bow net to the south and try to retrap him on his migration. Call your sponsor and ask for advice. Or D. A and C above are correct. I think setting up a net in the south to try and trap him is an enormous waste of time. And when a bird is loose and refusing to come back, every minute counts, and every decision you make counts towards getting that bird back in a timely manner, safely as well. I always, if a bird has gone, get there before the sun rises, because usually the birds will roost or just sit in a tree and not do a lot of anything overnight. So you get there before the sun comes up, they're probably still sat there doing nothing. And then they're probably a bit hungrier by that point, spending the entire night outside, so they're more likely to come to you. So come out. But also, I guess a good thing would be to call your sponsor and ask for advice. So I'm going to go for D, A and C above. Correct. Your lost passage red-tailed hawk is likely to look for new people to hunt with, return to your muse, C, revert back to the wild in short order, D, starve if you don't recover it. Now, if this was an English exam, the answer would probably be D, starve if you don't recover it quickly, because also in the question it wouldn't say passage red-tailed hawk. It would just be a young red-tailed hawk which was bred in captivity, never survived in the wild by itself, and depending on the stage might not have even been a successful hunter yet. So here in England, probably starve. But as this is an American exam and it's talking about passage red-tails that are a wild bird and used to surviving in the wild, it was probably C, revert back to the wild in short order. C, correct. Charlie, no. I'm trying to take an exam. This is exam conditions, Charlie. These are not exam conditions. Go away. The judicator's going to come round and tell us off. Which of the following statements is true regarding lure flying? It's a lot of fun, and I would highly recommend it to anybody. And if you've had a rubbish day, or if you just want to have some fun and relax, especially on a wonderful summer's morning with the sun beating down. You've just had your coffee in the morning, go out, you swing your lure, you have your falcon stoop towards you. Oh, what a delight. It's a spice of life. Delightful. Lure fly a falcon, so much fun. But learn first, don't just go out and lure fly a falcon. You've got an animal that can dive you over 100 miles an hour and you're swinging around a piece of string. That can go very wrong very quickly. But anyway, what are we doing? Which of the following statements is true regarding lure flying? A. It is an ancient practice that has no place in modern falconry. B. Pardon me. It is a useful tool for conditioning any hawk. C. It is a useful tool for conditioning any falcon. It is likely to make your red-tailed hawk fist-bound. I was expecting D to be one of these ones where it says both, blah blah and blah blah above. Because I would say it's a useful tool for conditioning any hawk, it's a useful tool for conditioning any falcon. There are drag lures and swing lures. It doesn't state which lure it's talking about, it just says regarding lure flying. Drag lure, swing lure. For a hawk, you would use a drag lure, like a dummy bunny, you drag it along the floor, you go running off. Or there are now bits of equipment that will literally drag it along a line for your hawk to chase. And for a falcon, you'd use a swing lure or a pole lure, which is mimicking a wild bird that it's got to try and catch as it stoops and dives, and you do passes to build up fitness and get it to continuously fly, coming at you until it's chucked up and given its reward and told it's a ho. I'm gonna say lure flying. I think I typically would associate more with flying falcons. So I'm gonna go C. It's useful for conditioning any falcon. Correct. The best description of an operant conditioning technique is pinching your bird's toe after not jumping to the fist. Jump ups to the fist with varying reward. Withholding food after not jumping to the fist. D. None of the above. Operant conditioning. Ooh, here we go. Operant conditioning. Where do I even start with that? Probably not in this video. Jump up to the fists with varying reward, I'm going to go with. Correct. With regards to operant conditioning, make sure you're subscribed. Don't want to miss out. Your objective when training your hawk is A. To make it as tame as possible. Train it to accept you as its owner and master. Show it affection. D. None of the above. Train it to accept you as its owner and master. I disagree with. There is a mutual understanding of respect, and in traditional falconry of hunting, you are a hunting party. I'm gonna go for that one anyway. To make it as tame as possible, why not, eh? Correct. Ooh, good. This one's very full. Here we go again. My lovely jug. After hunting your red-tailed hawk for a season, you decide to keep her through the molt. Your goal should be A. To keep her sharp set through the molt. B. Enseam her through the molt. C. Add about 20% to her flying weight. D. Feed her as much as she can eat each day. Sharp set, sharp referring to the feel of the keel when there's little fat around it. So no, she wants plenty of weight on her to be able to produce healthy feathers. So not A. Enseam her through the molt doesn't make any sense really. Enseam is to reduce fat from something. So going into the molt, having been a hunting, probably lean, fit bird, it probably doesn't have any fat on it anyway, and why would you want to reduce fat when she's got to try and grow new feathers through? So no. Add about 20% to her flying weight, that's a good idea. Feed her as much as she can eat each day. Now, if you are planning to release this bird after the molt, then you probably shouldn't feed her as much as she can eat throughout the day, because then she'll get very, very fat and then not want to do anything when she's released, or just hit the ground like a sack of spuds once she's released because she's covered in so much fat. Also, I kind of disagree with the whole idea of having a bird physically fit like an athlete and then making it really fat for a molt, and then ensyming or reducing all that fat off it and asking it to gain a load of muscle again afterwards. I think that is a lot of strain on a little bird's body. So, I'm going to go with add about 20% to her flying weight. Correct! Oh, we can get more in there. Go on. Go on, treat yourself. It's a reward after all. Nice and full. Nice and full. Two little ducks, it's 22. What type of raptor starts molting its outermost primary first and then proceeds in sequence to the innermost primary? None of them do that. Not that I'm aware of. There isn't any birds that just drop out its outermost primary first. A. Falcons. B. Buteos, meaning buzzards. C. Accipiters, meaning true hawks. D. None of the above. None of the above. Go and watch my video on molting. I show off the different combinations of feathers that drop out in different orders. It's not just random blah-de-blah, let's drop a feather and grow a new one through. There is a specific order to it. So go and watch that video after this one. We need that retention rate. Otherwise, YouTube stops showing the video to everybody, so make sure you watch to the end and then go and watch the molting video. If you'd really like to help me out anyway. D, none of the above. Correct! Oh, good. Oh no, oh no, oh no, I poured too much in. When training your first red-tailed hawk, your objection with hooding should be A. Be patient, calm, relaxed, and give it a good try. With a stiff British upper lip. It doesn't say that in this. B. Only use the giant hood. What's a giant hood? I don't know what a giant hood is. Only use the giant hood. Is it just a bird with a massive, comically huge hood on, flopping around? Only use the giant hood. What's the giant hood? That's bizarre. That's bizarre. As if that's in an actual exam question. Only use the giant hood. No, hang on. Wait. Resign yourself to having a hood-shy bird. No, you don't have to resign yourself to having a hood-shy bird. Patsy, my Harris hawk, when I got her, I think she was 7 years old, and she'd never been hood before. And I managed to train her to a hood. So don't resign yourself to having a hood-shy bird. Be patient, calm, relaxed, and give it a good try, I'm going to say. Correct. Acceptable quarry for a new hawk may include a squirrel, rabbit, quail, all of the above. All of them, why not? Depends where you are, depends what you want to hunt, depends what kind of bird you've got. Why not all of them, eh? D, all of the above. Correct. Excellent. When looking for a duck flight for your new bird, you would ideally fly larger water to encourage a good pitch. Fly a single or small group of ducks. Encourage your bird to take a duck off the surface of the water, or none of the above. Looking for a duck flight for your new bird. I wouldn't take a new bird. Oh, hello, Echo. I wouldn't take a new bird to a large area of water to encourage good pitch. That seems like a disaster waiting to happen. I absolutely, unless you may be flying a bald eagle, would not encourage a bird to take a duck off the surface of the water. Maybe if you're flying a bald eagle or an osprey, but I doubt this examiner is referring to people who fly bald eagles, because who's hunting with a bald eagle? Fly a single or small group of ducks seems like the most likely one, so B. Correct. Your red-tailed hawk will have more success hunting if it is hunting from trees or poles. You can carry it on an elevated T-perch. You hunt it from the fist, A and B above. Well, I believe that, they're a soaring and gliding species, but I would also kind of class them somewhat as a perch and wait kind of species, because the butios are always lazy. And a red-tailed hawk, despite being called a hawk, is a buteo, and now my dogs are having a fight behind me. No. So, with regards to that, whatever I've just said, something about hawks, or not real hawks, but buzzard hawks, soaring and gliding, very lazy animals, sit on posts. Probably A and B above. D, correct! Raptor most likely to capture prey in a ringing flight style is A, a goshawk, B, merlin, C, American kestrel, D, red-tailed hawk. It's a merlin. What more can I say? A goshawk, a short wing, in the trees, go flap, flap, flap. An American kestrel, it's American. Does it even know what a ringing flight is? Ooh. A red-tailed hawk, lazy, as we said in the question before. B, merlin and skylarks whizzle up like that, don't they? B, merlin. Correct. No, I've not poured my reward yet. That last one was really offensive to Americans. Sorry, I was just making a joke, but you did all kind of put Trump in power, so is it really a joke? No, a percentage of my audience is American. I like you Americans, I've got American friends. But you put Trump in power, so... Use of live lure is necessary whenever hunting a goshawk, whenever hunting a red-tailed hawk, never. Only in an emergency. Well, I know people who think that it's necessary just to even train a bird, which is just absolutely ridiculous, in my personal opinion. And if you require that just to even train a bird, then be a better trainer, is my opinion. But for this, I'm going to go with they probably will accept it as an emergency, even though I personally don't even think an emergency is an acceptable time to use one. It's your problem to deal with, not some poor wild live animal that's got no choice in the matter. But this is probably only in an emergency, so D. Correct, of course. Of course. The benefit of using a lure with any bird includes: they encourage your bird to tail chase. They carry no diseases your bird can catch. There is no benefit, none of the above. They encourage your bird to tail chase. Or I don't really see how a lure would encourage your bird to tail chase. They carry no diseases your bird can catch. Depends what kind of lure you're using. If you're using traditional wing lures, then I guess potentially whatever animal those wings belonged to could have a disease that could very easily be passed to your bird. Also, if you don't clean it properly and it's left disgusting and with all kinds of things on, then of course it could pass a disease. There is no benefit, which is nonsense, because there's many benefits to flying a bird to a lure. So I'm going to say D, none of the above. Correct. Male red-tailed hawks are preferred over females because females are too clumsy to take squirrels. Males are more agile and take jackrabbits easier. Males are easier to man. None of the above. I'm going to go with none of the above. If a female was too clumsy to catch a squirrel, then it doesn't really seem like it would be a good idea for a species to have a male be more adapted to catching a very plentiful prey over the female, because the females are kind of important when reproducing. I think males have generally got a less aggressive attitude, but I wouldn't say that they are easier to man, because I think females have got a bit more confidence, and so they're not as, "Ugh, what are you doing to me?" But then also, every single bird is an individual, and you can't make answers for birds on just a simple question. Every bird is an individual, they're all different. So I'm going to say D, none of the above. Correct! Oh, final drink when I filled it really full. So there you go. Is that the first round where I've got every single one correct? I think it is. The power of positive reinforcement over positive punishment. That is the lesson of this. Ignore all the questions we've done. That is the lesson. The power of positive reinforcement. Do you know what? I've got enough left. Oh, just enough left for one final celebratory one. There we go. Subscribe and do all of the other random YouTube things that people ask. And the bit that I always say at the end, thank you for watching. Bye.